What's going on YouTube? Your boy's back again, yes. And in this video, I'm going to be continuing from the previous debugging challenges. So this challenge is about missing and open, mm, catch missing, open and sorry, catch missing, open and closing parentheses after a function call. When a function or method doesn't take any arguments, you may forget to include the empty opening and opening and closing parentheses when calling it. Oftentimes, the result of a function call is saved in a variable for other use in your code. Right. This error can be detected by logging variable values or their types to the console and seeing that one is set to a function reference instead of the expected value the function returns. The variables in the following example are different. So that's a function, my function, and that returns a uroc, and then the var is assigned a function and that set to equal a function, but it won't work because it doesn't have the opening and closing brackets. So var2 is set to the function as well, set to equal the string uroc. Oh, okay, sorry about that, my bad. That is apparently valid, but it will equal a function. Equal to a function. However, this one will equal to a uroc string. Right. So, so now it says that fix the code so that the variable result, this one, is set to the value returned from the calling the function get9. So we need to return 9 because this function returns 9 here. Alright, so in that case, we're just gonna add the brackets and then our job is done. Perfect. Let's run the test and see everything is passing. Yes, everything is passing. Let's go to the next challenge. No, I'm too poor. Sorry guys, I cannot donate to you. Hopefully when I am a bit rich, then I'll be donating $10 instead of 5. But at the moment, unfortunately, that can't happen. Right, so catch arguments passed in the wrong order when calling the function. Right. Continuing the discussion on calling functions, arguments are supplied in the correct order. If the arguments are different types, such as function expecting an array and an integer, this will likely throw a runtime error. If the arguments are the same type, or all integers, for example, then the logic of the code won't make sense. Make sure to supply all required arguments in a proper order to avoid these issues. Alright, I didn't really understand the issues. Let's have a read again. Alright, so it says in the next bug to watch out for is when the function's arguments are supplied in an incorrect order. If the arguments are if the arguments are different types, such as function expecting an array and an integer, this will likely throw an error. Yes, of course. if the arguments are of same type, all integers, for example, then the logic of the code won't make sense. Yep. Make sure that the make sure to supply all required arguments in the proper order to avoid these issues. So it's saying that these arguments should be in a proper order. Alright, cool. So the function raised to power, yep, raises a base to an exponent. Raises a base, yep, to an exponent. Unfortunately, it's not called properly to fix the code so that the value of the power is expected at 8. Alright, so it's taking the B and the E, that's the base, that's the exponent, I believe, and we need to pass these two variables in this function. So we're gonna reorder them. So base comes first and exponent comes last, because in here B is base and E is exponent. So if I do this, I just want to test this, if this works or not. Exponent, x and base. This should work as well. Yeah, perfect. Nope. So we go back to the original version and just change this. The reason why it won't work, guys, because the test case is given to fix to get an expected output of 8. Alright, so I'll just fix this base and x be raised to power, and that is done, and it should work now. Perfect. Even the sad panda supplies smiles. Anyway, let's go to the next challenge. Right, so debugging again. Catch off by one errors when using indexes. One by one errors. Alright, cool. So off by one errors, sometimes called OBOE, crop up when you're trying to target a specific index of a string or an array. To slice or access a segment. So, or when looping over indices of them, JavaScript indexing start as 0, not 1, which means that the last index is always 1 less than the length of the item. If you try to access an index equal to the length, the problem may throw an index out of range error, reference error, or print undefined. Yes, cool. Understood. So when you use string or array methods, they take index ranges as arguments. It helps to read the documentation and understand if they are inclusives. The item at the given index is a part of was returned or not. Here are some examples of off by one errors. So it takes a variable alphabet and assigns it the string, and then takes the length and assigns it the alphabet length, and then it does a for loop, let one for loop one too many times at the end. Yep. Console log, yep, alphabet and the value. Each value is going to be printing. So for j is equal to 1, where were we? Yeah, j less than length. So this would be loops 1 to 2 few times and misses the first character. Yep. Index 0 console.log. Yep. Cool. Perfect. For let and this is SNK again. Goldilocks approved. This is just right. Okay, cool. So it's minus length, so -1. Alright, and this star x 0. Cool. So we always start the indexes from 0 and end it by 0 and end it by this -1, or do the other way around, which is uh, um, greater than and less. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna do less than that. Cool. Perfect. So this should fix the problem. Fix the two indexing errors in the following functions. So all the numbers 1 through to 5 are printed to the console. Yep, done. Perfect. And they're printed. Run the test, and we have one more believer. We knew you could do it. Oh yes. Right. So use caution when reinitializing variable inside a loop. Sometimes it's necessary to save information, increment counters, or reset variables within a loop. A potential issue is when variables either should be reinitialized and aren't, or vice versa and aren't. A potential issue is when variables either should be reinitialized and aren't, or vice versa. This is particularly dangerous if you accidentally reset the variable being used for the terminal condition, causing an infinite loop. Right, so printing variable values with each cycle or your loop by using console.log method can uncover buggy behavior related to resetting or failing to reset a variable. The following function is first to create a two-dimensional array with m rows and n columns. Okay, m rows and n columns. Yeah, perfect. Unfortunately, it is not producing the expected output because the row variable isn't being reinitialized. Set back to an empty array in the outer loop. Alright, so fix the code so it returns the correct 3x2 array of zeros, which looks like this. Right. It says that we need to take out this output, but at the moment it's giving us this kind of output. So this so so at the moment we are getting this output 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, I believe. Let me just confirm that as well. Um, let me just reset the entire code. Alright, Chef is giving us this output at the moment, I believe. Alright, so what we need to do is get this output, so have one array, which is, say, this array here. This is our main array, okay, and we need to have three arrays in here, so 0 0 0 0 and 0 0. Okay, so this is the output we want. Oops, my bad. What am I doing? Okay, so say for example, this is our 0th row is 0 here. Okay, R0 and then R1 and then R2. Oops, and then this is column 1 and column 2. Right? Oops. No, 0 and 1. Okay, so our array has got 3 rows and 2 columns, and we need this kind of an output. So what we're gonna do is, at the moment, it says that go into our first row and just put zeros here. Okay, so 0 0 0 0 blah blah blah. All right, but we don't want that to come in one single row. We want it to come in 3 rows. So as soon as, say, goes in the first for loop, and our R is 0 here, okay, and it goes in the first column, which is 0, and marks it 0, okay, which is, let me just explain you guys a bit more clearly. So C0 and C1. Alright, so I'll just explain it as this. So R is row is 0, C is 0, and then C is 1, which is our, actually I'll just explain it in that way. So what's gonna happen, it pushes 0 here, so this is our row, okay, and this is our first 0 and then second 0. All right, and now when we push the entire row in the array, new array, okay, it will come there, and now it will be like this. However, now we need to get our row started from the empty array again. So we don't want to continue filling this row like this. Okay, we need to start an empty array, which is the empty subarray. Okay, so there we come to the second row here, which is I is equal to 1 now, and we initialize a second array like this. So row is equal to that, and then alright, perfect. So this one would create an other array and then push the zeros from the columns. So J, which is our column, now J is our index and N is our column. So at the moment N will be 0, obviously. N will be 2, but J will be the 0th index. So now it will come in the second for loop and push a 0 in the 0 index, and then another one in the first index. So it will push it there and then come back again, increase the value for J, which is now 1, and see if 1 is less than N, which it is because the value of N is 2. So it will push another 0 in the index, which is 0 again, and then it will come back and increment J by 1 again. Now J's value is 2, so 2 is null less than 2 is equal to 10, and it will come out of the second for loop as well, and it will push the current row, which now has a 0th in it, into an empty array, because remember we initialized the row variable. We resetted the row variable, so we're gonna have 2 arrays now. All right, so that's basically the solving of the problem, and it will come back here, follow the same procedure. M is now 2, okay, and J is is it's reset the variable, the array, the, the array variable row, and it has an empty array, so it will create another array here, and then it would uh, it would say that because the index of J is 0 and J is less than N, which is 0 is less than 2, it will push 1 0 here. Okay, it will push this 0 here. Oops, my bad. Oops, why is it not working? Okay, yep, I've got to put my num lock on, and then it will push it and increment J by 1 again. So 1 is still less than 2, so it will this conditions satisfied, so it will push another 0 to the row, which is there, and here we go. That's our desired results. So it will push this row as well in our row array. Okay, and basically that's all it's asking us to do, to output this formatted array. Alright, so let's check if all went well. Perfect. The crowd goes wild. Oh yes, we are killing it, guys. I'm proud of you. Right, let's go to the next challenge now. Cool. So it says prevent infinite loops with a valid terminal condition. The final topic in this dreaded infinite, the final topic is the dreaded infinite loop. Loops are great tools when you need your program to run a code block. Okay, a certain number of times or until a condition is met, but they need a terminal condition that ends the loop. Infinite loops are likely to freeze or crash the browser and cause general program execution mayhem, which no one wants. There was an example of an infinite loop in the introduction to this section. It had no terminal condition to break out of the while loop inside loopy function. Do not call this function. Or okay, cool. Do not call this function. We won't call this function. So alright, this was the function. While true, yes, this is a infinite infinite results. Okay, it's a programmer's job to ensure that the terminal condition which tells the program when to break out of the loop code is eventually reached. One error is incrementing or decrementing a counter variable in the wrong direction from the terminal condition. Another one is accidentally resetting a counter or index variable within a loop instead of incrementing or decrementing it. The my function contains an infinite loop because the terminal condition 1 is not 4. We will never evaluate to false and break the loop. I will increment by 2 each time. Yeah, cool. So 2 each pass and jump right over 4 since I is odd to star. Fix the comparison operator in the terminal conditions so the loop only runs for I less than or equal to 4. So we would do as I terminal. So that would be like I should jump over right because this is 4, this is 1 and it will increment by 2, so 1 2 3 4 5, so this will never be executed. Right, so now it says fix the comparison operator in the terminal, which is this, I think so. Terminal condition, so the loop only runs for I less than or equal to 4. So 1. Generate property null. Generate length. Where did the length come from? Open null. Your code should fix that. Right. So it says fix the comparison operator in the terminal condition. So the loop only difference for I is less than or equal to 4. So equal is there, less than sign goes here. Alright, voila, checkmate. Perfect. Alright, let's go to the next challenge. Alright guys, that's it for this tutorial or challenges. If you have any further questions or can't understand anything in in the challenges that I've done, please feel free to comment and I'll make sure I get right back to you. Alright, until next time, have fun coding.